Critical EDH. Get over here. I'm Eric, and I'm here with
Jason.
And before we hop into the video proper, we just want to take a moment to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to our hearts. Mortal Kombat! Dude, Critical EDH is hosting its first tournament. We're hoping to get to plat 128 people. We may increase the player cap because that's kind of the floor for what a platinum event can be, and we want to make sure that we and you guys get those top deck points. It's on June 15th. It's going to be at Dave & Buster's. I know Jason's going to be competing. I'm going to be competing.
It'll be so fun.
We just got this playmat. We were hanging out on stream with Gold Sabertooth last night. It was tons of fun. I think my favorite part is you can, hang on, if we scroll up a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on this picture, but on this guy's head it says Crom, and on this guy's head it says also Crom. Just in case you forget. But make sure you don't forget to go check out our tournament. Sign up, maybe attend, say hi. But for the actual video, what we're doing today is our April deck lists from the community.
Yeah.
You guys really showed up, dropped a ton of lists in Discord. Unfortunately, we're not able to go through all of them, but we went through, picked out some of the standouts, the ones that had the largest amount of like upvotes. Or I think the standard emoji for them is a finger going like. So we'll throw up another channel for May, and if there's a deck list you guys want to see, give it a
thumbs up. It's like Reddit upvoted.
Yeah, I've never gotten a Reddit gold before, but I don't know. Maybe if some of these people post them on the CEDH Reddit, they might. First off, we've got Demetrius Clark with a Vial pod. In the description, Demetrius tells us big pod energy. Let's see what's going on. We've got the commanders Thrasios and Vial Smasher, so it's a Sans white list.
Yep.
I see Clever Impersonator, that bodes well.
It's got
Deceiver
Exarch.
Oh, interesting.
It's got Fate Stitcher.
Seeing a bunch of untapper stuff. Geeky Jeeky. Okay.
It's got the Brewmaster for the Druid line.
We've got a Delver. Interesting. Okay, so this is kind of like, it looks like a restoration effect almost. Mm-hmm. You can like pod into this and return whatever you podded. Entomber. Oh, that's got to be really good with it as well. This is a really interesting creature package. They're on devoted druid lines. Let's see what's in their sorceries. Birthing Ritual. A lot of the tutors. They're on Eldritch. They're on Reanimate as well, which makes sense. Nature's Rhythm's got to be super good as well. And Transmute Artifact, which tells me we're probably going to see a Basalt Monolith as well. Oh, I bet you can also get the Birthing Pod too.
Yeah.
Instance, Brain Freeze. Going to see a Breach, no doubt. They're on the Deadly Rollick that I would have gotten if I won that one tournament with Glarb. Final Fortune. Most of the freebies.
Oh, they've got an Entomb in the main board.
So. Not seeing any like Misdirection or Commandeer or any of those. So it looks like they're mostly having these in here to like protect their own stuff. Mm-hmm. Artifacts. Yep, there's the Birthing Pod. There's the Basalt.
Oh, there's an Imposter Mech in the board too.
Dude. Imposter Mech is so good.
I love Imposter Mech.
If someone else has a devoted druid out and you Imposter Mech it, can you do the...
Yeah, you can do the Basalt thing.
That's pretty crazy. Enchantments. No Necro Dominance. They are on Survival of the Fittest.
Oh, there's a Necro Potence, though.
There is that. And then they're on 27 lands. Anything super spicy.
E-Zone because of the Crop Rot package. There's a Shifting Woodland as well.
Mistrise too. And then a pretty healthy sideboard. So far, I think this list... pretty heckin' cool.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen some Thrasios Vial Smasher kind of turbo lists before, but I've never seen them doing this kind of like untappy kind of like graveyard shenanigans stuff.
What's the pod line?
So I imagine you probably start with Vial Smasher, then you pod him into... Well, these are both 3s actually. Oh, no, you probably do it into Fate Stitcher. Mm-hmm. Well, no, but then it's going to enter with Summoning Sickness, so you would have to kill it.
Is this a 4-drop?
This is a 5-drop.
What about this?
As a 4-drop, okay.
Search your library. Put it in
Okay. Oh, so what do you turn?
Oh, do you entomb or do you get this and you entomb the Fate
and
Stitcher?
Fate Stitcher, then you unearth it to untap the pod to then turn the Fate Stitcher into a Kiki Jiki, that lets
There's no
you
Kiki
create
in this deck.
yeah, right here.
Oh.
And then
I
and
can't
then
see
no
that.
worries, no worries, no worries. It's the what about this print isn't recognizable? Then I bet you can make a Kiki Jiki of.
No. Don't you turn it into
So here's
Yeah,
here's my question: if you birthing pod an unearthed Fate Stitcher, can you get a CMC
Yes.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what do you turn the copy of the Fate Stitcher into?
Or you mean the Kiki? The Kiki clones the Fate Stitcher, untaps the pod again, and then you pod into Egg Start, right?
Oh, there we go. We did it. Line discovered. Thornthasa's. That's a line I know way better than pod lines.
Yeah.
You usually cast what is it? Demonic Consultation.
And that other card, that's the one.
Something I like about looking at this list, and kudos to Demetrius for putting this together, is it seems like you have so many options for birthing pod that if someone tries to like move it upon entry, you can say like, bro, I have like so many different things I can get. Like I don't have to get a combo piece.
And the nice thing is that you can pod into Dosan too.
Mm-hmm.
And they are running like the survival package with the Devoted Druid, where you discard a creature, find Devoted Druid, discard Devoted Druid, and find the Brewmaster as well.
Yeah, I like how like I feel like a list like this is really able to take advantage of like the sacrificing creature tutors, because you really don't mind if they go to the graveyard because of all the reanimate effects that you have, and also it lets you be really, really aggressive, because if you throw your Devoted out there and then it gets nuked, you're still able to like come back and find some other lines. Man, this is a super interesting list. Demetrius, good work.
Good job.
I don't know if we have any rating system for this.
I like this deck.
I like this deck. I think the only rating system we've used so far is doing mulligans, and it was keep or kick. And I would keep this one.
I would keep
this
one
one's
too.
super cool. Demetrius, you did good work, bro. Next we got a bird is the word. Their deck is Jack in the Mox, Draft, Chaff Tribal. We've got Teshar. It's I obviously I know what Teshar does, but I'm gonna pull up the details just in case you need a refresher, Jason.
Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Historic Reanimator.
Oh, I know this deck is like a looping junk diver deck, right?
Okay, yeah, Arcbound Ravager, because you probably want sack outfits, Urzas. This is a lot of cool stuff going on. Oh, of course we have Market Back Walker. This kind of seems. Oh, Felia's really good. I'm sure Oswald's got to be incredible in here. You can pod whatever you want.
Retriever is really good in this deck too.
Nurturing. Oh, this one's really big in like Esper Blink right now, which I think is a modern deck.
Interesting.
A lot of artifacts. Weathered Wayfarer is super fun. This is one of those cards where like white has weirdly a lot of like land synergies in it, and this is one of them. Like if you're in second or third seat, it can be really, really easy to just tutor up like a Talon Gates or
Sarah Sanctum.
Yeah, we'll see what their enchantment package is. Instance super light. They're on Unwanted Remake. Enlightened Tutor, which makes sense. Do you think they've ever cast Razorgrass Ambush as like the actual spell, or is it just here to be a land?
Dude, it kills Tana.
Yeah, it does. It kills Ragavan. I am surprised to not see an Orum's Chant in the instant section. 37 artifacts checks out. Let's see what the ratio of like turbo, like grinding station to like stacks defense grid stuff is. So far, it all looking pretty zippy with like KCI. Mind Stone. It looks like they're just running like
grinding station, blasting station.
We've got a few things like Portable Hole, or Soul Guide Lantern.
There's a Tormod's Crypt too.
But it looks like they're mostly on the like proactive utility end, which is pretty cool. I think I can definitely see a world where you're like too tempted into running a ton of like Trinisphere or like Storage Matrix effects, and then it just dilutes your deck. 25 lands, which is pretty low, but it makes sense with the amount of rocks that they have.
Yeah, there's a lot of utility lands in this deck too, because the Weathered Wayfarer doesn't only grab basics, it grabs any land.
Which has to be really good with Inventor's Fair because it lets you turn your universal land tutor into a universal artifact tutor, which has got to be incredible. Seems like a great Mishra's Workshop list. Lassitep Quarry is interesting. I bet they probably have this to like you can like double dip on like Scrap Trawl or stuff and things like that. Okay. And the Command Beacon is an interesting pick. I guess the commander must die a lot.
I mean, it's the main engine of the deck, so.
Yeah. How do you think this deck wins? What's your? So I know it's got to do something with like an artifact loop, right? And if you guys see us, if you guys see it out there, don't tell us. We want to figure it out.
I'm pretty sure it's a loop with Mirror Retriever and Junk Diver or something along those lines, right?
But I imagine that would just be to make infinite mana because they're not on Walking Ballista, right? So they don't have a way to turn infinite colorless mana into like infinite pings.
I mean,
they have the Market Walker, but I think that just creates a ton of 1/1s, right?
It draws your deck.
Oh wow! Oh okay. Are you able to like mill people out and force them to draw with like?
Oh no! Blasting Station kills.
Oh! I thought this was a grinding station.
And then Grinding Station also mills them out.
Okay, gotcha.
Altar of Dementia also mills them out.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. I also like that it like one of the things I like about decks like this is that like artifact stuff doesn't hurt you as much for not having access to a ton of colored pips. And so in decks like Blue Farm or Kinnan have definitely been in situations where I have like an Ancient Tomb, a Mana Crypt, and like a Grim Monolith, and it's just unkeepable because there's no way to translate all that colorless into like advantage. But I think a deck like this can probably afford to keep a hand like that.
Yeah, or even just like one plain hands too, where you can convert all your colorless.
Because you really just need like the one, maybe the two pips. That's cool. I enjoyed getting to see those. I've never played against a Teshar in person.
Me either.
If you're a local yokel, bring this deck to like level 7 sometime. We'd love to play against it.
Yeah.
Next, we've got a Biggie Lewis on Big J's Atraxa. In the sideboard, cards I've used before in the deck that I would consider putting back in. Okay. Atraxa is something, it used to be, I think, really popular during the Clone Wars 1, back when like everyone was trying to run as many creature copies as they could. I feel like we haven't seen it as much now that people are looking for copy effects more for Ristic Study with like
Clone Wars and stuff. Other problem with it is that right now, running creature clones doesn't have high value, and without Crypt and Lotus... Without Crypt and Lotus,
don't tell Logan.
It's a lot harder to cast Atraxa.
It's got to take a lot longer. So I'd be interested to see if they, as we jump into it, if they have kind of like reacted to that by putting more dorks and mana in, or if they're going for kind of a slower, I'll cast Atraxa if I get around to it.
Oh, I see definitely a slower game plan here. Yeah. We've got more dorks. We've got the Clever Impersonator to copy the Ristic Studies. There's a High Fae in the deck to play at flash speed. There's an Elish Norn.
Yeah. Drawn in Limvala and a Dranith.
Yeah.
It seems like this is a list that, like, if you have to, like, mulligan down to 4, you're like, Drana probably does something this game.
Yeah.
Love the Voice of Victory. Love the Oppo Agent.
There's a lot of control pieces here, too. Like, Dranith and Oppo are great.
They are on Endurance. I'm interested to see, since they're also on Fairy Mastermind, if that's a result of, like, an infinite mana loop, or if this is more just, like, a cheap interaction piece.
Yeah, there's definitely a Tithe in this deck, and there's a Kinnan here, too, so we can loop Fairy Mastermind.
This is going to tell us that there is more than likely a food chain. I'd be very surprised if they didn't.
There's a Supreme Verdict.
There's a Farewell. There's a time spiral. What?
Is there a kitten in the?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
right here. There we go. Too. Yeah. Dude, Biggie Lewis, if you're on these, you should also be on Sway of the Stars. Just don't shoot for the stars, big guy. Their instant package looks good. They're on Dispel, which I like. I also see Cyclonic Rift. I think You used to see Cycrypt also a lot more when you had Dockside because it could force everyone to like use their treasures. But I think that with all the like kind of cradle stuff going on right now, it's seeing a little bit more use. Got to find some way to bounce all those squirrel tokens.
That and all the smothering tides around.
Oh yeah. Artifact package is looking pretty good. I think the only one they're not on is Mox Amber, which makes sense. Yeah. But they are on they're on 3 talismans plus Felwar.
That makes sense since they're also on Kinnan, right? It's very helpful that he doubles all the stuff.
And then I also imagine if you like flip a Kinnan off an Atraxa spin, having this density of artifacts is going to really help you like kickstart that Teferi combo. Enchantment package looking pretty good. Looks like they've also got Blind Obedience, which I can see would be really, really good here because it's both going to slow your opponents down, but it also is like also offers a win condition. There's a food chain we're talking about. Carved Flower was also is going to be super duper good here. Are there any? They're not on like Necropotence or any of the, like the turbo ones. We're also not seeing any like Mirror Maid or Copy Enchantment.
No steel either.
No steel, no copy artifact either. So it looks like while they are intending on grinding, they're not planning on letting the opponents get there. Lands makes sense. I think the cavern. I see the Forbidden Orchard, which I really respect. I used to, I feel like, have big beef with Forbidden Orchard, but I now. I think you kind of like converted me in the sense that like guaranteeing that you can have access to like all the pips you need makes a really, really big difference.
Spells is a better drug than
yeah. I mean, sure, like you're giving your opponent a 1/1, but you're getting a vampiric tutor, so I don't know. I don't know what you think is better. I'll take the vampiric tutor.
Let's look at his sideboard real quick, right?
Oh yeah. They said there was stuff in here. Go into the sideboard. There's Walking Ballista, Hullbreaker. Oh, Kudo. Heck yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
This probably really helps to prevent people from cloning your Atraxa.
Does it?
Oh, no, because they keep their abilities. Never mind. I'm thinking of...
maybe I could see Ass Trophy get traded in for the Abrupt Decay because of the Cradle meta right now. You can hit Cradles.
Boromir is some old tech.
Yeah.
Defense of the Heart's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. Ashiok is not something I've seen outside of a Sisay list, I think, ever.
I think Hullbreaker could be cool for this day.
I could definitely see Hullbreaker working. And then you've got Heliod Walking Ballista. Yeah, I can see Walking Ballista being good because you're already on Food Chain, and so you can just hit it a bunch of times, then cast Atraxa till you get your Walking Ballista.
Sure.
I don't think Heliod would be good enough. I can see a world where you put the other Heliod in.
Heliod.
Yeah. Well, especially because you're on so many like talismans and stuff. You're just like drawing stuff. You like play at some point. All you're gonna need is like a couple rocks, and then you can just cast Atraxa at flash speed. That's a bad idea. Don't listen to me.
Don't listen to Eric.
This Heliod should be cut though. Good call, Biggie Lewis. Really, really cool. If I were playing against this. If I were playing against this at a tournament, I would be pretty scared because I think it represents the ability both to like come out and do big stuff really, really quick, but also like if I'm on like Kinnan or any Thrasios plan, they have a lot of tools to kind of like shut me down. So Biggie Lewis, great job, good work. Next we've got a cousin 2 chains. BC stands for Blight Club. It's turbo time. And then in the description we have Dinosaur. Roar, lightning bolt, ka-choo, and then a bunch of little fart clouds. We're talking about Atali. I have not played against an Atali in a while.
Dude, I think I haven't seen this deck since Dockside ban. Honestly. It's been a long time.
I've played against it 2 or 3 times, but I haven't been able to see them resolve an Atali. But I've heard that it's kind of waiting in the wings. I've already seen something I do not understand. So we're going to have to open up this Planeswalker here. Chandra, Flame Shaper.
Oh, it's a clone. Okay, got it.
You're playing a 7-mana clone.
Wait. Do we think that this is... Well, it clones every turn, right?
Yeah, but, it clones every turn. And then also...
do you think we'll see in this?
I'm expecting to see a lot. I just realized you can also... this is another thing that you can cast uncounterably with Delighted Halfling, which you can't do with like a lot of your Twin Flame effects. Okay, so I'm gonna guess. Well, we'll say seven clones.
Okay.
1. Here we go. 2. Wild Cantor is super cool. This tells us there's going to be a food chain. I think this is potentially one of the best food chain decks in the format right now.
I also agree with that.
Who could forget the Hunting Velociraptor?
What's 3 mana Atali is so gas.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's nuts. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Is this the one that lets you put your commander onto the battlefield for free? Oh, heck yeah.
Jacob does this with Narset.
Dude, you also, because you're already on a ton of clone effects, so you can just keep cloning your Hellkite if there's like a Draenith out. Fuck, that's really good.
That's fucking
you got Fury, that's really fun. And then Disciple has got to be really, really good. It's basically free here. Dualcaster Mage, I mean, I assume we're going to see a lot more counter or copy effects in the sorcery section, so it makes sense. Sure. You just throw an extra win con in there. Yep, Electric Duplicate. That's one that came out with Foundations.
Oh, okay.
This is just big man. I don't know if I've ever seen this cast in a game.
Does that cast Atali? Is that 7 or 6?
I think it's 6.
It's 7.
Is it? Hang on.
That's 7.
Okay. Ooh, Geosurge, you're getting out there. Glimpse the Impossible is a card I feel like you do not see a ton of.
I think this is a really cool card.
It's cool. I also like that it creates a body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also kind of like generating mana while it's letting you kind of like filter through your deck.
Hey, maybe Rogdrass will run this top.
Oh, dude, they're on Metamorphosis. This is food chain, but so like if an effect on a creature is an effect on a stick, like what's the inverse of like effect that you usually see on a permanent but on a spell?
Oh, I see.
Is there like a term for that? Or is it just an effect on a spell?
It's gotta be something like one-time use.
One-time use, yeah. Which is, I mean, I can totally see this being really, really good, especially like you're already running so many big creatures.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you just cast your Atali, and then for 3 mana, right? 1 here, and then 2 for tax. You recast your Atali.
Yeah. Or like if you've got these big things like the Hellkite that after the first turn, if you don't have a clone effect, you can still kill them. I do have a question. If you Metamorphosis, so let's say you Electro Duplicate Atali, and you let the original die and the token ETBs.
Yep.
If you Metamorphosis the token, are you going to create 8 mana?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's because the copies retain the CMC value.
Dude, maybe we should be playing Atali. This year got the instance.
Yeah, you're right.
Are they on a Tybalt's Trickery? They're on Rending Volley. Oh, heck yeah.
Dude, Rending Volley kills Draenith Magistrate.
It's like Nadu is still with us. Pyrokinesis. That is not one you see every day. That's got to be really good against. Really, really good against, especially a lot of like the blue decks in the format right now. Nature's Claim is not something I would have expected to see.
Force of Vigor too.
Like honestly, I would almost rather do like a Reverent Silence or Into Nature kind of effect. Because I imagine you're...
Pick your poison?
Yeah. Pick your poison is also really good.
That card.
This means they probably have a copy in the sideboard, right? Eldrazi Confluence is another really, really great one. I was put onto this one because of Lumra. But so you get to choose the same mode more than once. So you just, you can kind of bounce your own thing, and then you can kill like a Dothi and a Draenith. Or if you're against someone who's like playing Drawn in the Volley, you can like target it twice. Like it's a super duper versatile card. I think this is a great example of like if you're in a low color shell and you're looking for instant speed interaction because you're not in blue, Eldrazi Confluence is oftentimes going to be able to do a lot of what you want.
That's super interesting.
Love the Noxious Revival.
New blue farm tech incoming.
New blue farm tech. Artifact package looking super good. Any deck that can run Cursed Mirror is a good deck in my opinion. I was put onto this card at the tail end of like Dockside in its heyday, and I have not been able to find a home for it since. It's basically like a I don't want to say worse, but like different Machine Gods effect that's harder to combo with.
I've seen it with cloning Bloom Tenders.
Whoa.
You just tap the Bloom Tender right away, and you can flicker it with a meal. Oh,
whoa, dude. Talk about some Naya tech. They're on less talismans than Atraxa. Checks out.
Makes sense. This deck plays more explosive mana, and Atraxa plays more permanent mana.
Enchantment package is kind of what you'd expect. Some stuff that's going to be helpful early, as well as your combo pieces. And then I think even if you're in 4 colors, if you're splashing green, you're often on Sylvan Library, so it 100% makes sense that if you're in 2, you kind of got to be on it. And then anything kind of crazy in the land pack.
Cavern naming dinosaur.
Cavern naming dinosaur.
Is that what grove?
You can cast your
is
local
that the one that
politician.
gains your opponent's 1 life? The Grove of the Burn Willow.
Grove of the Burn Willow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if anyone has that that black enchantment on board that whenever your opponents gain life, they lose that much life instead.
Oh, Sanguine Bond?
Yeah. Watch out.
Watch out, guys.
Having not seen Atali in a while, this list really, really makes me want to play Atali.
Me too.
It seems like all you got to do is cast your commander, and then if you can get at least like 1 or 2 Atalis out, you're just gonna get there. Yep. Geico, thank you for having an ad on Moxfield. Super appreciate you. Next, we're gonna go to HBSmitty, a Psy Master top tierist. That's really clever. And then in the description it says Psy Artifact Manual Storm. I have not seen many Manual Storm kind of like mono blue decks aside from Arkham Daxon. I know that Emery used to be big in the format, but I think that was back when like Paradox Engine was a thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't play back when Paradox Engine was a thing, but I imagine this deck will play like Urza and a bunch of ways to use the artifact tokens.
We see Karn, which lets me know to be on the lookout for some stacks effects. Potentially the lockout with like the Mycosynth Lattice.
Yeah.
Arkham Daxon's got to be super duper great in this list.
Oh yeah.
Consecrated Sphinx, gas.
Dude, Secret Denver tech.
Glaring Fleshraker. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Glaring Fleshraker? Whenever you yeah, there we go.
It's an outlet too. So if you have infinite blink, you just kill the table.
That's pretty cool, actually. Like it gets it both helps you get to infinite mana and also gives you something to do once you're there. Nick Valentine. Oh, everyone knows Nick Valentine. This is another good example. Of like if you're doing like a scrap trawler loop to generate infinite mana, you're also going to create clue tokens, which are then like a payoff for it.
Interesting.
It's also cheap, so it should turn on. I imagine they're going to be on Mox Amber. I have mostly only seen this in Marnius and Chatterfang.
Magda.
Magda too. And literally anything that does like
any tokens,
any kind of token, you cannot let this resolve. Love that it has Reality Chip. I actually ran Reality Chip a little bit in Rock Thrust, and this is just a super duper versatile card. I imagine, especially since you don't really have, while you do have card draw in the command zone, it's not quite what I would typically expect from a CDH value engine. I think this is, at the rate it is, it's going to be more of like a combo piece.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think something that gives you access in a way that you want, on a cheap creature that's also an artifact, to have access to your deck is really, really cool. Fabricate and Reshape. Makes sense. We're doing artifact stuff.
Oh, yeah. So much artifact
Instant Package is a little bit smaller than I would have expected being in mono blue. It's
all interaction for the most part, though. What's that spell?
This one?
No, up.
Foil. What do? You said that you may discard an island card and another card rather than pay the spells. Oh, interesting.
I used to play this in Tatiova.
Interesting. Tatiova turns.
Yeah.
Discard an island and another card. Yeah, because you probably had so many lands in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not seeing a commandeer, which is kind of surprising to me.
Misdirection too.
Like I would have expected to see a misdirection before a foil.
Me too.
But I do like the Dispel. I like the Miscast. Spell Pierce is another good one.
There's an Aetherflux Reservoir.
Oh heck yeah, Aether Spellbomb too.
Wait, oh my god, is that the net thing?
This is the I think this is the Assassin's Creed one, right? Yep. This is another they're called precognition effects.
Okay.
and it taps for mana. That's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
You're on the keys. You're on Codex Shredder. You're on Acre Wellspring. Let's go. Another KCI deck. Mystic Forge.
Prize statue.
Oh, let's go. Dude, I remember Prize Statue from when I played Oswald Fiddlebender for a little bit.
Oh my god, that
deck. Because you can pod up, get an untapper, like Pyre of Heroes. No, 1,000-Year Lecture, and then the treasure token that it gets you will pay for the next pod.
1,000-Year Elixir is such a sick card.
It's so cool. Thought Vessel. I think we're seeing a lot of the similar kind of like cheap control artifact effects that we saw in the other Teshar one.
I think this deck combos off mainly with the precognition effects with the cost reducers, right?
Almost doing like almost like Joyra stuff. I also really like Skull Clamp here.
I see. This makes so much more sense. You can use the Ashnod's altar and the altars to sack the Thopters that you make when you cast the Sensei. So that's another piece of like
that's so cool.
Yeah,
dude, and you don't need like Bolus's Citadel or anything. And then also like I used to play an Emery deck in casual, and if you get like an Aetherflux Reservoir out, if you can like. Even if you're not like going infinite, if you just cast like 5 or 6 spells, you're gonna get to a point where you can just kill a player.
Yep.
Counterbalance seems really good with the precognition engines. Love these. A little bit surprised. I think this probably says more about me than the state of mono blue. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you be on Mirror Maid and copy enchantment? Because I feel like if you're on a Storm deck, you'd want to be able to draw. Because you can probably. I imagine that if you have 40 cards in hand, you're gonna be able to play like 20 of them at the drop of a hat. But also, I don't know, maybe this deck is so consistent it doesn't.
It just looks like a manual Storm deck, and it knows what it's doing. So it doesn't need Ristic Study.
Yeah, it's like mono blue flubs.
Let's cut it.
Let's see. They're on Urza's Cave. Are you on that for? No, it's not an Emergent Zone. Maybe for Cephalid Coliseum. Or potentially, like you're turning a land tutor into an artifact tutor again.
Sure. Or Fumori Vault. That card is so sick.
It probably really overperforms. And then they're on both the artifact lands as well, which I'm sure there's going to be a lot of synergies in the list. And then Urza Saga probably gets like a quarter of your deck to the battlefield. Yeah. This is really, really cool. I didn't know what to expect when I saw Sai in the command zone. Not as many stacks effects as I was originally expecting, but I'm kind of into that.
Yeah, it seems like more of a manual Storm deck. I like that.
I like it a lot. I also didn't see a Mycosynth, which means the Karn is either there to slow people down or to give your Aetherflux like lifelink or something.
Hey, maybe you just turn your artifacts into artifact creatures.
Yeah.
And then you can Arkham them away.
Whoa. Dude, great work, Smitty. Solid job. This deck seems awesome. Next we've got dude, talking about Reality Chip, we got a Reality Chip deck. I'm super excited to check this out. Its name is Reality Chip Brew Ideas. What kind of chip you got in there? A Dorito. This is by Holden Pryo. Brews a ton of really cool stuff. I'm expecting this to also probably be a very stormy deck.
I agree. We've got the bird in there.
Let's go.
Which scries one for each.
Dude, it's the blue DRC. We've got Forensic Gadgeteer.
We've got Fleshraker again.
Who could forget about Fleshraker?
Do you think there's a Pilipala in this deck because of the...
No, not seeing it.
Damn.
Missed opportunity. There is a Psymaster Thopterist. A lot of tutors. Another crawler. Riddlesmith is kind of fun. I like that it's a May ability. This has got to be so good. I like that we're on the Flood Moon.
The Flood Moon? You call it the Flood Moon?
Yeah.
I call it the Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. That's what I call when I moon someone, but I have no blood in my ass cheeks. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
No comment.
I don't know where that came from. I apologize for my words and my deeds. Mana Severance.
Hey! You get rid of all the lands in your deck and you just play all your spells off.
That's crazy. Psymaster Thopterist, you need to be on this card. That's insane.
Maybe we make like a Rog side deck where it's Bolus's Citadel.
Yeah.
And just
this would
Severance our
this would smooth the fuck out of your like Or like I know it's at a sorcery speed, but even like once you have like 3 or 4 lands, if you're in Grixis, you've basically got enough. That's crazy. Fabricate all. Aside from that, we've seen a lot of these in the decks today. Makes sense. Instance.
Lots of protection again.
Mm-hmm. Lots of
Dramatic
protection
for like the explosiveness on the mana.
Yeah, they're also on Brainstorm, which makes sense if you're trying to like reshuffle.
Repeal.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I wonder. This probably isn't going to be like a Mystic Sanctuary loop, but I can see this being like a really good way to like combo, especially if you're doing like top stuff. Another Aetherflux Reservoir, Basalt, which makes sense for the Gadgeteer.
That's kind of like a get probe if you bounce like your Mox Opal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dang. I like the Helm of Awakening here. This makes sense that a RAL player would put this in.
Yeah,
they're
a RAL player.
Diachromox, as you affectionately
Yo, there's Commander Sphere in this deck.
That's probably if they have ways of like recurring it with like Scrap Taller, it lets them draw through their entire deck.
I mean, with the Cloud Key, right? It reduces it by 1. Maybe this deck plays 31 artifacts, so maybe you just cast your entire deck with colorless mana.
Soul Ring, Unwinding Clock is really, really cool. You're on all the keys. Dude, it's been a while since I've seen Semblance Anvil.
Dude.
But dude, like throw a Mind Stone under that.
Every time Tyler, the Arkham player, imprints like an artifact creature, I know I'm boned.
I'm just gonna take a lap. I'll wait for you to come back. This one's cool because it's an artifact, so it lets you storm off. Also, if you have like a defense grid, it lets you like convert it into mana if you're doing like untapped shenanigans. And then also it lets its channel ability is also really, really strong.
It's kind of like what's it called? It's like a submerge almost with this effect.
I know Tyler from Play to Win actually used to really, really like having this in Kinnan because you both had the channel ability, but also it taps to generate mana. It's kind of like a weird Springleaf Drum. Enchantments. Okay, Ristic Study. Thought Lash is not.
Hey, it's like that mana severance idea, right? You just exile it away.
Oh, that's crazy. you can just choose to. Okay, when a player. Interesting. So if you wanted to, you could just do this then Thassa's, which is probably kind of bad. But it also.
Is there a Thassa's in this?
I didn't see one of the creatures, but also I think this effect is like basically really, really good. Because instead of like paying 1 life to exile the top, you're using it to stop damage. We can zoom back up. I didn't see a Thassa's.
Oh, there's the Thassa's.
Oh, holy cow! Oh yeah, crazy. So you can like flash it out on someone's end step, not pay, and then just cast Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah. Or just exile your deck, not pay up, keep cost, and then play it main phase.
Oh, that's so good. Land package is kind of small.
Yo, there's a treasure.
Average. Yeah, I like the Manamo. Here's got to be really good. Seems like another really, really good Mishra's.
The Mycosynth Garden.
Let's go. I also like Treasure Vault here a lot. This is a cool deck. This deck seems like I would really like to play against this. I also would really want to land like a turn 1 fish against it.
Oh, me too. Yeah, you can drop your 3 rocks.
Yeah. If I got a Ristic stat, you can cast whatever you want, bro. Next we have, hang on, let's go ahead and move this over to visual grid. We have another Blight Club member. This is Hazen's Captain Howler. Some curious CEDH. This deck shoots to pressure life totals via combat, and if it can't close out that way, you can fall back into the Glinthorn, Buccaneer, Curiosity Loops, or Underworld Breach. This was an Aether Drift commander. I think it didn't get a ton of buzz because it hashed a ton. Sure. But its big effect is down here. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2 until end of turn for each card, and then whenever it deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. So you are trying to do like kind of discard tricks with a lot of like what's that red one with flashback that lets you like draw 2 that you Faithless Looting.
Okay.
But then also you're doing stuff like Narset Wheel things, and then you just like swing out and hit somebody for like literally 21. Discard Outlet. DRC. Dualcaster Mage makes me think we'll probably see Twin Flame or something. Ghostly Pilsner, that's pretty fun. A lot of discard outlets. Man, there are so many like 2-cost value creatures that you don't see in a lot of legs.
Glinthorn Malcolm.
I've seen
this one before.
They're also on Slicer, which I love. That's really fun.
Dude, Slicer.
You're also on Magus of the Moon. They're not on Blue Moon. But that makes sense. I think
they're on Unctus. On Unctus, a Fedo Alchemist.
I like Unctus a lot. That's a combo.
In Nadu.
Yeah, God, I miss Nadu so much.
God, I miss Nadu too.
After Nadu got banned for like a really short period of time, Magda as a commander and Unctus as a commander was a thing. Magda because of Storm, but Unctus because there's so many ways that you can just get a creature like a Fedo Alchemist, turn it into an artifact, and then have it tap and untap itself.
Oh, dude, this just paying life to target your stuff with Nadu too.
Yeah,
God, that was so good.
I miss it so much. Here's all the kind of copy effects we were speaking of. There's Faithless Looting. Step Through makes sense that there's a lot of wizards you'd want to get. Too bad Slicer's not one. Am I right, guys? Then we have Careful Study, which is one that you don't see much of, but it's essentially Faithless Looting, but in blue. And then we have Sundering Eruption. I think this is in here both because it can afford to be on some of the more niche MDFCs because it's in 2 colors, but also
it makes your commander unblockable.
It makes your really
if you're lethal, right?
Oh dang! Creatures with outflying can't block. It also I think that given that this deck is kind of trying to go fast, but an element of that is combo damage, you probably really don't want guys' Cradles decks to start getting all their like tokens out.
Nah, you just blow up the Guy's Cradle and hit them for 20.
Get it out of here.
Got him.
Boom. Boom. Let's see what we're looking at an instance. Whoa, Bookbend. I haven't seen this since Zerda. This is really cool.
I haven't seen this since Niv Miz.
Whoa, which one? Baroon? Oh, you're on Is It Charm? Oh, that's super interesting. Yeah.
Commandeer.
Yeah, because you draw 2 cards, then you discard 2 cards. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna, cause your commander to go up to 4. And then when you do combat damage, you will draw to 3 cards.
Make sure you don't Is It Charm into a Narset though.
Ooh. Hey. That'd be bad. There's Misdirection. Francis Search has got to be so good here. A lot of typical effects. There's Commandeer as well, and then Brain Freeze. They did mention in the description they were going to be doing breach stuff. I think this is the type of instant package I would expect to see from a typical Is It shell where you've got most of like the staples plus like 4 or 5 kind of like things that are going to uniquely combo with your commander. Yeah. Maybe Tolarian Winds.
Maybe this deck could play Stubborn Denial.
Oh. I can see that working really well.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Hazen, try it out. Artifacts. Ooh, Agatha Soul Cauldron is so cool. Brass Tunnel Grinder.
Dude, that card is like a mini Wheel of Fortune.
It is, and it's on an artifact, which is really good. They're on a Talisman. They're on the One Ring. Are there any... Oh, I bet Agatha Soul Cauldron is so that if you wheel your Glinthorn out, you can still copy like exile it with Agatha's and give its effects to one of your creatures. So even though you're wheeling it's this like weird reanimate in your list.
Sure. And that works with Malcolm.
Yeah. Are there any other?
Does it? No, because Glinthorn's first ability is a static.
It also lets you copy Unctus. Kitsa, if you're trying to do dramatic, are they dramatic reversal?
It lets you discard cards from Ghostly Pilsner.
Their enchantments are really, really fun. Artist talent has got to be so goated in this list. Another Blood Moon. You can tell they're a Denver player because you got all the all the copy effects. They are on Steel as opposed to copy enchantment. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like Steel Enchantment. I'd rather just clone my own Ristic Study and call it a day.
I think that like if you're on like stacks effects like Blood Moon or things like that, I can see why you wouldn't want your opponents to have that advantage because you're trying to move really fast. But I tend to play like a little bit slower, grindier lists. So I both don't want to cast Steel because I think there's a high chance that it gets countered above copy enchantment. And then I also wanted to create this incredibly unfortunate and parasitic game space where we're both drawing cards off of each other's Ristic and then playing them. Yeah. I am a greedy, grubby goblin. I am part of the problem. Sorry, guys. And then we've got lands, 28, because they're on a lot of MDFCs.
River Pyre Verge.
I think Fiery Islet. I think we're just going to see a lot of the lands that you don't really know their name because we're in a 2-color shell. I imagine a lot of Karkashima players probably recognize the land base here.
Reef, so gas.
Dude, gotta get the Verge in there. Training center. I thought this reduced the cost of activated abilities. This I have not played against this specific list, but I played against the Captain Howler once or twice online, and I knew what was coming. I'd seen a couple lists online. I was like, this is going to go fast. It's going to wheel a lot. And then it's going to try and kill me really, really quickly. And even knowing what it was doing, I just was not prepared for it because I think this is something you see in a lot of Izzet lists. But if anyone tries to interact with your combo, you have so many kind of cantripy effects in that you're able to just keep playing on top of them, either to keep the combo going or to find points of interaction.
Yeah.
Super duper cool. I feel like Izzet is a little bit of an unexplored space right now because I feel like the big players are Karkashima, Ral, and Niv Mizzet, and all of them, they're all incredibly commander centric. So I feel like it's really hard to just grind in an Izzet shell right now.
Hey, maybe we gotta make a Mizzix of the Ig Magnus,
or just play Crom, no other partners.
Dude, think about it. Or Crom Jessica.
Dude, Crom Jessica. Crom Malcolm. Speaking of commanders, we don't usually see in the command zone. We'll hear it before I forget. Lemon, Secret Commander Derevi, CEDH, a Jelly Bean Man. Oh yeah. Or more specifically, Omnath.
Four color Omnath at that.
Okay, so let's do a quick description. When it enters, draw a card. Then landfall, whenever a land you control enters, you gain 4 life if this is the first time it is resolved. If it's the second time, add 4 mana equal to its commander cost. And if it's the third time, it deals 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. So I feel like we either see lists like this going 2 ways. Either one, it's kind of a good stuff pile, where they just didn't want to play like a Thastrios Brews kind of style, or
Trashios Blue.
or we're gonna see some kind of landfall Felidar or Emil stuff. They did say Secret Commander Derevi, so I'm expecting to see them.
I see a Gearhulk.
Gearhulk is so good.
There's a Teferi Kitten combo in the deck.
Dude, this is huge mana, right? We got Fey Burrow. I think I saw a Bloom Tender. Yeah. I also see Kitten, Derevi, Clever Impersonator, Archivist. They are trying to go
there's
fast.
a Wandering Archaic.
Let's go. Wandering Archaic is so... if you're in a deck that's doing big mana things, I would almost rather have this than a Defense Grid. There's definitely times where I want a Defense Grid more. That's not a universal heuristic.
Yep.
But I was in a game this last Wednesday where I got a Wandering Archaic out, and then my opponent played... one of my opponents played Imposter Mech and copied my Wandering Archaic. And then it was this weird situation where this table was effectively stacked out because there were 2 turbo players who just couldn't cast their demonic tutor or their or any of their stuff because it's not stopping you from casting them. It's just also going to give it to me unless you have an abundance of mana. And so it created a really, really interesting board state. I just love the type of games that Wandering Archaic creates.
The Emil Derevi loop is enabled because the Fabro adds 4 mana in this deck instead of 3.
Ooh, yeah, that's really cool. I don't see a Kinnan, which is a little surprising to me. But also, I guess they have a lot of humans. They're on Valley Floodcaller. I am curious to see if we'll see Banishing Knack or Attraction Helix. I feel like that combo was really, really big for a month or 2, and then it just kind of got weeded out.
You can Neoform into Water Arcade?
That's super good. Yeah, you can Eldritch Evolution into basically the whole deck. Finale of Devastation is both a tutor and a win con. Wargate is an interesting card. It is something I see a lot of people including in Bant or Bant Plus because it's such a versatile card. But also I feel like it's a little too versatile in the sense that
it gets Cradle, dude. It gets Cradle.
I feel like if you're casting this, your opponents have to counter it.
Yeah. I mean, it's it gives you access to so much of these creature-based combo decks where they have so many permanents in their deck.
and it doesn't have the beseech effect where people are like, well, they're gonna have to cast it again. Let's go see what they get. And so like I don't know. I feel like this is a card that's way more useful once you're already super far ahead. But also, I mean, like
if you X for 2 this, you could get like an arcane signet, or you could get like a Grand Boss.
Yeah, like I don't. You must be an insanely good politicker to have this in, or you're about to cut it. Either way, I think it's a really, really cool card.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it'd be cool to see in more decks, but also I don't know if I've ever seen one of these resolve. I love that this deck is on Psych Rift. If you're already doing big mana stuff and you're a little bit slower because you're not in black, like
The
this is
crop rot to double trigger Omnath is pretty hot.
Oh, that's gonna be super duper good. I love Snap here as well. Noxious Survival is pretty cool. I wonder if that means that they're going to be doing like if we're going to see a Cephalid Coliseum, or it could also be in there for like Ewit lines. Pretty solid interaction package. I don't know if I would have expected a Final Fortune, but like I get it. This seems like a deck that like can get really, really close, and then you have this like huge stack, and so you just end up with like you don't have enough mana to cast like Derevi because they're all of your colored pips, so you just cast this for double red to kind of reset next turn.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the artifact package is actually a lot smaller than I would have expected.
Yeah, me too.
We've got a One Ring. It makes sense with a meal because they're going to draw it out. Something we don't see here is Birthing Pod, which while it makes sense because really the only thing you can turn Omnath into is Wandering Archaic.
You can turn your dorks into
you're on so many dorks. I wonder if in the enchantment scene we'll see Birthing Ritual. Potentially not.
You're so high on that card.
I think it's good in lists that have like a lot of like value creatures, right? Like being able to turn like a Ragavan into a flesh duplicate is really good. But I think it's rough in situations where like a lot of your creatures are also combo pieces of but I think enough of like the vast majorities are just like good creatures that you want to have on the battlefield. And it seems like it's going to be playing a slower game plan, but I like the exploration. That makes sense with landfall.
Yep.
Growing Rats is also pretty good.
Dude, second Cradle, that's so good.
When it transforms, it's not re-entering the battlefield, so you wouldn't get another Omnath trigger, would you?
No.
I like Smothering Tide on here. Smothering Tide would be another reason to have Kinnan in here, I feel like. Yeah. I wonder if their experience was like just Kinnan got copied too much.
Hey, maybe we cut the Ragavan 4, but then this would be like a Bant deck.
Yeah, like if you got Ragavan, that's the only red card we've seen. Is that the only red card in the deck? No, they're on Final Fortune, Deflecting Swat, and Red E-Blast. This is a super Bant list. Yeah. Man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Lemon, if you're watching, please be watching. I would love to know why you're not on Kinnan. Not because I need you to like justify your deck building decisions, but more like I feel like there's something I'm not seeing, and potentially it could just be that it gets copied all the time. Now we're going to our last list. We've got Azul with Blood Pod. No bad cards except Tana. Confirmed. Tana, pretty bad card.
Hey, it makes tokens for Tim though. Okay.
We used to see this as like a super stacksy list. Blood Pod came from the fact that it was most known for its Birthing Pod lines and Blood Moon effects. So kind of trying to do like the Naya, like Kiki Jiki, Feldar Guardian stuff, but also doing like Aven Mind Sensor or
the slow like Absand stack strategy.
Not that far in. I see something I don't recognize.
This is Dark Confidant.
Oh, it's Dark Confidant plus Offspring, so you can get 2 of them, right?
Yeah, you can have 2 Dark Confidants.
Heck yeah.
Hey, these have flying for Tim though.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. I feel like it's hard to get Tim to end these days.
Yeah. I agree.
It's also going to give you treasures for Professional Facebreaker. I think the biggest standout in the creature package is 1/6. Depending on how you've built your list, 6 can weirdly function as a kind of like
a pseudo underworld.
Yeah, like Breach at Home. Don't see Kiki Jiki. Don't see Feldar. Don't see Restoration Angel. Like
There's a dual caster, so there's gotta be like twin flame dual, right?
But I'm not seeing any like creature combo. Like they're not on devoted druid swift foot. Any swift. Like this is just like
this looks like a manual storm deck with Biggie in it.
Yeah, this
and DRC. That's interesting.
This is really interesting. I would have expected more combo-y stuff, but this is like with the exception of like dual caster mage, like no one's really gonna run into any issues with your creature package. Maybe with Oppo agent, but like you're not gonna be attracting a lot of heat. Culling Ritual is really really cool. I doubt this has ever happened, but I imagine it's got to be wild with Tana because they just create like a ton of sapperlings and then like kill them.
Yeah.
And then Tana CMC is high enough that you can kind of just keep repeating it. I don't know if that's a real thing.
You can scheming symmetry oppo.
Love scheming. Love it.
You know, if you can't Thoracle Console in these colors, you can just steal some.
Yeah, you just find it. I like the Wheel of Fortune. I think if you're in this many colors, and especially if you're on this many dorks, it makes a lot of sense to have a wheel in because it gives you the opportunity to like keep greedy hands that are basically just a ton of mana. They've got Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Deadly Rollick. We are like gut shot. We're in like removal city out here. Guttural Response.
Dude, this card, I remember seeing it in Krark Sidar, and I was like, brother, what are we doing out here?
This list looks like it is betting on you misjudging how much interaction they have in hand. What's that white 2-cost one from Lord of the Rings where it returns a spell to hand and then draws a card? Reprieve? Dude, this list looks like it wants to be on Reprieve.
Dude.
I like the Son half. That would be another combo with Dual Caster.
Yes.
Yeah.
You make infinite dual casters on like an end step.
Hang on, that's the only one with dual caster.
Hold up.
There's no Electro Duplicate. There's no Twin Flame. There's no.
Huh.
Okay.
They're playing Flare too. Hey, maybe you just.
I love Flare Duplication.
You have like double Flare in this deck, right? Dual caster and Flare.
That's really good. Does that mean is Dual Caster like just an interaction piece here? Like you just want to copy your Abrupt Decay?
Dude. That'd be funny.
Because they're not on Hoarding Broodlord. Like, what else are you Son having? Like, you could hit your Darkstar Augur, I guess, if you wanted 2 of them.
Dude, you could double up on your Archivist.
How does this deck win?
It's gotta be Breach. There's so many.
It's on Gut Shot, but you can't do kitten things. There's Breach, there's Trouble in Pairs, Smothering Tithe.
Wait, how do you feel your Breach?
There's no grinding station. There's no blasting station. Sorry, Teshar. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of your commander already. That's very impolite of me. I feel bad. This is. Are you doing like you can't do infinite LQR? Or is the game plan here just steal your win con?
No way.
That's hilarious. you just establish a bunch of silence effects and like you just run tutors and then it's so
wait. Hear me out. We sign half the DRC and then we play a Delny.
Oh,
so every spell we cast mills 4.
That actually is probably part of the game plan. Why are you on so many creature tutors? Because I guess you're mostly going for silence effects.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I could see that.
This is
a list that baffles me.
Yeah, I would have expected to see like some kind of Mayhem Devil. But, I mean, despite calling it a Blood Pod list, this is very, very different than I would have expected.
I don't see any pod and I don't see any blood.
Yeah. Get out of here! Just kidding. This is this is we're kind of nearing the end of our time for this video, but I'm going to be thinking about this one for a while. This one's a thinker. Thank you guys so much. Kind of landing the plane. For kind of submitting this deck list. I had so much fun getting to look through it, getting to see a lot of cards either that I haven't seen in a while or kind of like combinations, a lot of like mono blue kind of Artifact Storm, or like that Bant Omnath was like crazy cool.
Oh dude, yeah. I love Omnath. I had like a Food Chain Omnath deck at one point.
Dude, that's so cool. You've also got I thought that Thrasios Vial list was also really, really cool with like the
actual pod.
like, yeah. Well, that's because they get to be on Fate Stitcher and that the Exarch.
Oh, right.
Well, this is kind of like a new video that we were testing out. If you guys liked it, please like it. Kind of hop in the comments, especially if you were a brewer of one of these decks and we missed anything big. We would love to hear about it. And otherwise, hopefully, we'll see you guys and your deck lists again in May.
Yep.
See you guys there.
Bye, guys.
See you there. Bye-bye. Logan, I'm still recording so that you have more that you need to cut out. I still haven't pressed stop recording yet, Logan. Okay, now I'm doing it.